Yo, what's up, guys? So today we're going to be covering more March of the Machine stuff. A bunch of stuff just dropped. I really missed the nail um, when we covered the D&D stuff. We just had like a huge drop today of more March of the Machine cards, 15 plus ish cards. I think it's more actually, but we're gonna hop right into that. I'm very excited to talk about a bunch of these cards. They seem very interesting. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you guys to go down there and hit that red subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs before the end of the year. We're making good headway. Um, the views on the channel have been up, subscribers have been coming in, which is amazing. Comments have been up, which is always nice. I love hearing back from you guys and seeing what you guys would like to see change, what things you like about my content, um, how you feel about some of the cards that are coming out. So everything means a lot to me. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. All right, guys. So the page is still going to look a little bit familiar. There's a few cards that we already saw in the last video we did, but as you can see, we have a new Elish Norn card, as a set focus on the Phyrexians will have. This is Elish Norn, just Elish Norn, Phyrexian Praetor, 4 mana, 3/5 vigilance. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals combat damage or deals damage to you or a permanent you control, that source's control loses 2 life unless they pay 1 colorless, and then tap 2 and a white, sacrifice 3 other creature cards or 3 other creatures, exile Elish Norn, then return to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery, and it becomes the Argent Etchings, a enchantment saga. Says when it enters the battlefield, after your draw step, add a lore counter as these sagas do have. Turn 1, incubate 2 5 times, then transform all incubator tokens you control. Create or creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain double strike until the end of turn, and then destroy all permanents except for artifacts, lands, and Phyrexians. Exile the Argent Etchings and then return to the battlefield. Front face up, which means it becomes Elish Norn again. Seems pretty interesting. I don't know what incubants are, so we're gonna learn that together. Then we have the new art for Archangel Elspeth. The other one was the full art, like border full art borderless like art. So this is going to be the one most people end up getting if they pull it from normal packs and such. Um then we have Chrome Host Seed Shark, which seems very interesting. I'm going to um pull it over more. That way you guys can see these a little bit better. But Chrome Host Seed Shark is a Phyrexian Shark 2/4 for 3 mana. Flying whenever you cast a non-creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. Create an incubator token with X+1 counters on it, and tap to transform this artifact. Transforms into a 0/0 Phyrexian artifact creature. Okay. That's what incubate is. Nice to see. Glad we figured that out. So the incubate 2 on this means that it's going to create 2, right? Because this one creates one of them. Creates a single incubate. So this will create an incubator where it's um probably just a 1/1, right? I don't know. That's so weird. Very weird. We have grafted butcher. We're not going to click on this one because it's center frame. We shouldn't have to click on most of them. When it enters the battlefield, ooh, sorry. Ooh. It's a 2/2 for 2. When it enters battlefield, Phyrexians you control gain Menace until the end of turn. Other Phyrexians you control get +1/+1. And then it says tap 3 and a black. Sack an artifact or creature. Return Grafted Butcher from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. That's actually really good. I'm actually very impressed with this rare. Not only is it giving +1s to other Phyrexians, which gives the Phyrexian archetype a boost, it also um acts as like a kind of like I don't know, like a good drop to hold out on. Like I know it's 2 mana, so you like it's nice to get it out early, but you want to build up a board for the Menace, right? Also has recursion, which is always nice. Then we have these. These are interesting. This is how I'm gonna pull these up just because This is weird to read sideways. But these are the new battle cards, which were mentioned on the new Atraxa from the latest set. We have invasion. They're all invasions. It's supposed to be like each of the planes getting invaded, I believe. A lot of yawns. Sorry. Um, is a 2 mana battle siege in red. And then, if you don't know, as a siege enters, choose an opponent to protect it. You and the others can attack it, and when it's defeated, exile it and then cast it transform, which it has 5 health. So I don't know if that's five, like almost like loyalty counters. So like you're getting rid of loyalty counters. I imagine it's not going to use that wording only because counters are very specific. It says when it enters the battlefield, reveal any number of dragon cards from your hand. When you do, Invasion of Tarkir deals X damage +2 to any target or any other target where X is the number of cards revealed this way. So good in a dragon deck. And then when it's defeated, Defiant Thundermaw is what it turns into, which is a 4/4 dragon with flying and trample. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, it deals 2 damage to any target. Very cool. Um, Gives you kind of an incentive with for attacking to get there. And we have Holukranos Reborn, which is a Hydra. 3 mana for a 4/5 with a reach, says 6 and white and or a life. Transform it, reborn, or activate only as a sorcery, so you can transform it into Holukranos Engine of Ruin, which is now a Phyrexian Hydra, a 6/6 instead of a 4/5 with reach and lifelink. And it says whenever it or another non-token Hydra you control dies, create a 3/3 beast and white. A green and white, not beast. Don't know why I said beast. A green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with reach, and a 3/3 green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with lifelink. So kind of like Wormcoil Engine actually. It like has that Wormcoil Engine ability where it breaks off into its individual keywords. So that's cool. Um that's actually like really cool. What color was it? It was white, green and white. So you would have to run this in a green and white deck because that pip on the back determines what deck it's running. I don't know why I adjusted. This was the one we were talking about. We got Monastery Mentor, which is just a 2/2 for 3 with prowess, and then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 might creature token with prowess, so kind of duplicates itself a bit. We've got Transcended Message, an X spell for with 4 blue in its color. With Convoke, your creatures can help, so you can tap creatures for 1 mana to help with this. Draw X cards. That seems really good. This is when, if you guys have been reading the story, this is Ren reaching out to touch Teferi's hand. We have Archpriest of Shadows, a human warlock for 4/4 for 5. With backup 1, when this creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. If that's another creature, it gains. That's a weird wording. If that's another creature, it gains the following ability. Oh, it's basically saying so like you can put the +1/+1 counter on this. So if it's another creature, it also gains the following abilities, which I think is backup, right? Yeah. Death touch, and then whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle. Oh, so this counts for the battles, dealing damage to the battles. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That is really good. That's super cool. We have Voldarin Thrill Seeker, 3 mana for a 1/1, backup 2. That puts 2 +1/+1 counters. Tap 1 and sack this creature. It deals combat damage. It deals damage equal to its power to a target. And then we have another one. We have Invasion of Ikoria. This one's an X spell with 6 health. Says when Invasion of Ikoria enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. Hmm. So you can use this to tutor for a big guy. Craterhoof is one of them. Uh, then we have Zilortha, the Apex of Ikoria. This is what happens when it dies. It is a 8/8. Says reach for each non-human creature you control. You may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. That's pretty cool. I like this one. It's just a big green spell. You guys might have gotten a little glimpse of some of the things at the bottom of the screen. Uh, we've got Guardian of Girapur. Is an angel for a 3/3 for 3. Flying, when it enters battlefield, exile up to one other target creature or artifact you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next step. So, enters battlefield, flickers something. That's really cool. I like that. We've got Fairy Mastermind, which we already went over. We've got Invasion of Fiora, which is has 4 health for 6 mana. When Invasion of Fiora enters the battlefield, choose one or both. Destroy all legendary creatures, destroy all non-legendary creatures. So that's a pretty decent board wipe with the non-legendary. If you're running like, as much as I hate them, if you're running uh Jorah or whatever, and you're running like legendary tribal, um sorry, if you're running legendary cascade, I'm trying to avoid using that word. It's kind of problematic. So if you're running like a legendaries deck with Joda or any of the other creatures that kind of do Atraxa, kind of does it as well. Um, except for Atraxa just looks for cards, so you don't really need legendaries for that. But you can just bop shit off the field, and then it turns into Marchesa Resolute Monarch when it dies, which is a 3/6 human noble legendary creature. When with Menace and Death Touch, whenever Marchesa Resolute Monarch attacks, remove all counters from up to one target permanent. So you can kind of remove counters from somebody's creatures or any of your permanents. Don't know why you'd want to remove counters from your permanents unless you're playing cards that have like slumber counters. Like you could remove the slumber counters off of what's that land? The Merit Lodge, right? That deck. It has or that card, it has 1 second. Let me hop into face intro. Of the Merit Lodge card. Dark Depths, right? Yeah, it has 10 ice counters on it, and when they're gone. So that's actually really that's some tech right there, running Marchesa Resolute Monarch, so you can remove the ice counters from like your Dark Depths to get Merit Lodge out quicker. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't been dealt combat damage since your last turn, you draw a card and lose life. So that's pretty cool. If you can prevent yourself from taking damage until your turn, you can combat damage specifically. You get to get a little draw off of it, which is nice. Oh, we're back at the bottom again. Love it when it happens. We have Atali, Primal Conqueror. I heard Atali had been completed. Is a 7 mana 7/7 trample. For red, but it's also in green. When Atali Primal Conqueror enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So similar to old Atali, except for no, it's literally just better Atali. Wow. And then for 9 mana and a green pip / deal yourself 2 damage, I believe. I believe that's what it is. Transform Itali, activate only as a sorcery. It becomes Itali Primal Sickness, a Phyrexian Elder Dragon 11/11 with trample and indestructible. So now it is indestructible. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters. So it just has top or uh what's the old infect? It's literally just infect without the whenever it deals combat. Oh, it's because it got trample, right? Just give it infect. What's with this wording? Like, just give him infect. He is literally just a more expensive Blightsteel Colossus. This guy's gonna be cool. I'm excited about this one. It's a rare too. Oh boy. Very cool. All right, pull me back to the top, please. Um, We have another siege. This one's Invasion of Ixalan. It doesn't have an opposite side. Becomes a 4/3, but the opposite side hasn't been leaked, I guess. Oh, this might be one that hasn't been leaked yet. I know that all the invade or all of the battles, or at least ones that have come out were leaked. We might not just have gotten like this one's second half. They might be saving it. 2 mana, battle siege in green. When Invasion of Ixalan enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So that's kind of cool. I like that one. Um, Interesting. So we don't have the opposite side to Ixalan yet. We have Boon. Oop, let me adjust this. Boonbringer Valkyrie, an Angel Warrior with backup 1, flying first strike, lifelink 4/4 for 5. That's okay. We have a new art for negate. I like that. People were wondering what they were going to use this art for. Um, Seems fitting. Um, Merciless repurposing. This is my boy. Um, God, what's his name? Urbrask getting ripped apart. Exile target creature, incubate 3. Okay. So create an incubator, create 3. Oh, the number is how many +1/+1 counters it gets. So the incubate 2 on the Ellis Norn cards is it's a 2/2. All right, that makes more sense. So this creates a 3/3. Um, Stoke the Flames. It's an instant for 4 mana. Convoke. Deals 4 damage to any target. So, 2 mana. We'll just say 2 mana. Deals 4. That's not bad. Then we have Invasion of Zendikar. I saw this one on Twitter earlier. 4 mana. Whenever it enters the battlefield, search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. That's not bad. And then it turns into Awakened Skyclave, Vigilance Haste, Mana Dork says as long as it's on the battlefield, it's a land in addition to its other type, so it makes sense that is also a Mana Dork. Um, we've got Mirrodin Avenged. This is a bit of a spoiler. Karn disassembles a already weakened Elesh Norn that's been crawling toward him. Tap 1, destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, draw a card. Nice little battle trick. And then we have Scrappy Bruiser, which is a raccoon warrior for 3/4 for 4. Whenever it attacks, up to 1 target attacking creature gets +2/+0 and gains trample at the end of the turn. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the end of combat. So you would not want to use this on the Bruiser. Maybe if you had like, I don't know. Oh goodness. If you had lethal, I guess it makes sense to put it on him, but he'll be returning to your hand at that point. We have Kami of Whispering or Whispered Hopes, 3 mana for 1/1. If one or more +1/+1 counters we put on a permanent you control, that many +1 plus that or that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on the permanent instead. So you get an additional +1/+1 counter on stuff. Okay. Tap, add X mana of any one color where X is Kami Whispered Hope power. So you want to pump him, I guess. That one's kind of lackluster. Oh, we have another one. We have Dominarias Invasion. When it enters battlefield, you gain 4 life and draw a card for 3 mana. That's not bad. And then it transforms into Sarah Faithkeeper, a 4/4 flying angel of vigilance. That's not bad for an uncommon. Then we have Traumatic Revelation, which is the face-off between Chandra and or Chandra's encounter with Nissa when she first sees her. 2 mana sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a creature card or battle card from it. If you do, that player discards that card. If you don't, incubate 3. So kind of good. That's good. That's a common for 2 mana. That's not bad. We have Elspeth's Smite. This was the story moment when Elspeth stabs Elesh Norn through the shoulder. By the way, it's not chest. I don't believe. I think it was through the shoulder in the story. Is a 1 mana instant that says it deals 3 damage to target creature or blocking creature, attacking or blocking creature. If that creature would die this turn, exiled instead. So kind of like a situational lightning bolt. We have Seal from Existence. I think this is Ren attached to the tree. Um, one colorless, two white, enchantment, ward three. So need to pay extra three if you want to get rid of it. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Seal of Existence leaves the battlefield. That's not bad. Kind of like a prison sentence. We've got Norn's Inquisitor. I really like this art of like the Inquisitor in like Phyrexianized. 2 mana Phyrexian Knight. When it enters the battlefield, incubate 2. Whenever opponent you control transforms into a Phyrexian, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it kind of gives you that payoff for retransforming them into or turning them into the Phyrexians. Then we have Alabaster Host Sanctifier, 2 mana 2/2 for a Phyrexian cleric with lifelink. Okay. We got some more team up cards, by the way. We've got Zergo and Ojutai, Orc Dragon for 2 of white, black, or white, red, and blue. 4/4 flying haste when it has hexproof as long as it enters the battlefield this turn. Whenever one or more dragons you control deals combat damage to a player or battle, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You may return one of those dragons to its own. Huh. Oh, yeah. Weird. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Oh, one of the dragons that you attack with. Completely missed the first part of that. Then we have Rigmos, in Bibblethip. He is a Cyclops homunculus, 2 Cyclopses. Uh, 2 colorless, a green, blue, and red for a 6/5. Whenever enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. Then you may discard any number of land cards. When you discard one or more cards, this way, it deals twice how much damage to target creature. Tap one in a blue. Put it into its owner's library, third from the top. I wonder if it needs to be on the battlefield. I imagine it does. We have Invasion of New Phyrexia. Ooh, a new Teferi card. I didn't expect this to be a new Teferi card. I just thought this was some art of Teferi from the storyboard. 6 for an X spell, 1 white and blue. When Invasion of New Phyrexia enters the battlefield, create X/2/2 white and blue knight creature tokens with vigilance. Seems interesting. Once it's dead, create Teferi, draw 2 cards, and discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card, which is a +1. You get an emblem with knights you control, get +1/+0, and have ward 1. Bruh. An instant, like, it doesn't even kill it. Like, we haven't seen an emblem like this since Gideon Ally of Zendikar, where you could pop him immediately to create his emblem, but he dies. Like, he's gone. He's, like, in your graveyard. This one doesn't even kill Teferi. His name's Teferi Akosa of Zalfir. And he has a -3 tap X creatures you control. When you do, shuffle target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value X or less into its owner's library. Interesting. This is really good. No wonder this is a mythic battle. That's a really good one. I kind of want a copy of it. We have Baral and Kari Zev. For 1, a blue and a red for a 2/4 human. Just a human. It doesn't have they're both. What what is Baral? He's a what are they called? Give me 1 second. I forgot what they call them in Kaladesh. Baral. Oop, oh, how do you spell Baral? Oh, he is just a human. What are the Aether uh creatures called? They're from Aether. They have a name. I don't remember. Somebody in the comments tell me what they're called. Um, First Strike Menace. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, you may cast a spell with lesser mana value that shares a card type with it from your hand without paying its mana cost if you don't create first mate. Ragavon, a legendary 2/1 red monkey pirate creature token. Gains haste until the end of turn. So you get a little Ragavon. That's kind of cool. We have Rankle and Torban. Um, Flying First Strike Haste. Deals combat damage to a player or battle. Choose any of the number. Create a treasure. Each player gets a treasure token. Each player sacks a creature. If a source would deal damage to a player or battle this turn, deals that much damage +2. That's nice. Um, Invasion of Tolvata. I'm gonna kind of speed through these. The video is going a little bit longer than I thought it was. Kind of lost myself in time, so we'll just uh give like a little speed read of each card, unless it's something I really want to talk about. When it's battlefield, target non-black permanent from get rid of the battlefield. So recursion transforms. Tokens get +1/+0 lifelink. That's kind of cool. Uh, we have Glissa, Herald of Predation, new Glissa card. We have Quintoris Lore Mastered, Botanical Brawler. Yeah, just this. Halo Forger is a Fairy Rogue or Forager. Sorry. Another invasion that's not complete. Uh, Create a treasure token, then you discard a card if you do discard. Cool. Another invasion. Invasion of Ravnica becomes Guild Pack Paragon. Seems pretty cool. Exile target online permanent opponent controls. That isn't exactly two colors. Right. Oh, the new sword dropped. Sword of Once and Future. 3 mana equipment. Equipped creature has +2/+2 has protection from blue and black. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, survey 2. Then you may cast and insert a sorcery spell with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into the graveyard, exiled instead, equipped 2. Seems cool. Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree, new legendary artifact with mill capabilities and seems interesting. I don't know. I don't think this one will see much play. You got the lands, the tapped lands that gain life, the land art, the full arts. Seems all very cool. Atraxa, Praetor's Voice is getting a reprint in this masterpiece esque art. Same with Ragavan and Nimble Pilfer in the classic um like inventions art. We have Essence of Orthodoxy, which is a Phyrexian Seed Pod Caretaker, Phyrexian Pegasus. This is from the Jumpstart set. Referees. Interdisciplinary mascot, Zephyr Windrider. Injector Crocodile, Seer of the Stolen Sight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got a legendary creature right here in Orphean, Hero of Lava Brink, Human Soldier. And then another team up card, we have Serac and Goreclaw. 6 mana for a 6/5 trample. Other creatures you control have trample. And whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until the end of turn. We've got the commander cover cards right here. These 5. These 3 are probably in the decks. Yeah, either in the decks or in the commander set itself. These are all the invasions. Yeah. The planes that we've already gone over. So we'll go over the new commanders. This is like the big commander cover card thing that people really wanted to say. So we have Burmese Blight of Oreskos is a 3/4 Phyrexian cat for 4 mana. Whenever you cast a Phyrexian creature or artifact creature spell, incubate X, where X is the spell's mana value. So create a guy with a bunch of +1/+1 counters. And then at the beginning of each end step, if a Phyrexian died under your control, this turn proliferate. Seems interesting. We have Gimbal, Gremlin Prodigy, Gremlin Artificer, 4/4 for 5. Artifact creatures you control have trample. Interesting. At the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 red Gremlin artifact creature token, put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of differently named artifact tokens you control. Huh. So, artifact token generation deck. We have Bright Palm, Soul Awakener, Fox Shaman, 4/3 for 4. Has backup 1, and then whenever this creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature. That creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. Cool. A lot of combat I'm seeing. Combat. not really combat. So this one's just combat. We have Khalsa, the Broken Halo, a 5/4 for 6 angel ally with convoke, so you can get it out for 3. Uh Flying, vigilance, haste, then whenever you cast another spell that has convoke, scry 2, then draw a card. Interesting. But the big one is this one. We have Siddar Jabari of Zalfir, a 4/3 for 4 with Eminence. Eminence is back. We have another commander with Eminence. It's been when did Ur-Dragon come out? 2017, those decks. The Ur-Dragon, Edgar Markov, the wizard one. I don't remember the wizard's name. And then Arabu, the cat. It's been like 6 years. I think they came out in 2017. It's been 6 years since we've seen Eminence. Whenever you attack with one or more knights, if Siddar is in the command zone or the battlefield, draw a card and discard a card. So you get a little bit of card advantage. It's in black, so you don't mind discarding stuff. For flying and first strike, and that says whenever he deals combat damage to a player, return target knight card from your battle graveyard to battlefield. So you want to discard your creatures. Very cool. Um, as you can see by this, you can't see the comment. This eminence ability seems pretty busted, especially in black. I agree. Does not change the fact I am very excited about it. I wasn't planning on getting any of these commander decks initially. I still am kind of hesitant, but if I do pick up one, it is Siddar Jabari of Zalfir. Eminence is just such a cool mechanic. People rant and rave. We're done with this, by the way. I'm gonna exit out of this. People rant and rave so much about how Eminence is kind of like the smudge on Magic's commander history. Eminence broke how commanders were supposed to work. There's no reason a card should have the ability to do something from the command zone. But it's not the first time. Eminence wasn't the first time. It was a mechanic that came out based off of a creature that had an ability similar to it. I can't remember what his name is. He sits on a throne though, and he you gain life and your opponents lose life. That's what his ability was, and he does it from the command zone. Um so it wasn't a new thing. It was just they wanted to put an official word on it and try it out. And honestly, I don't think the only commander with Eminence that was busted in terms of its Eminence ability was Edgar Markov in the sense that when you cast a vampire, you get a vampire. He just keeps pumping them out. So, like, Ur-Dragon makes dragons cost 2 less. Okay, dragons are already expensive as hell. Um, like, given they're very powerful, but, like, that's what dragons are all about, is, like, they're a bunch of their flavor cards are making them cost less. Things like Dragon Speaker Shaman, uh, the little goblin guy that like I forget what he's called, that brings dragons foods. He makes them cost cheaper. Arabu gives your cats +3/+3, or gives a cat +3/+3. Nothing big. I don't remember what the wizard did. The wizard one was very hit or miss. I don't think a lot of people played that one. But like Eminence is something that I've been waiting to come back, and I'm glad to see it on this creature. It's not super busted. The card advantage is nice in terms of like you're not really losing anything because you're putting something in the grave you want in the grave. So there's not really a downside to it, but for him to get his upside, like his biggest perk is for him to be on the battlefield. So I think it's very cool. I'm very excited about it. A lot of these cards I'm very excited about. As always, I always tell people, don't like Magic has just gotten way more expensive. Do not pay those expensive prices. If there is a card that you want to play with, it costs I don't know, I think I spent like $5 to get a custom card made for my partner from a website. Just look up proxying sites. Proxy sites exist. You pay a couple bucks, like $10, you can get a bunch of cards from them. The quality isn't going to be the same as Magic's, obviously, just because to pump out stuff like that, um, you would need a lot of money to be able to afford the necessities to make the product look amazing. But you can buy a printer at home, like at like a store for $50 and then print out the PNGs yourself and put them on lands. I always tell people, if you're not wanting to support Wizards of the Coast in that sense, which nowadays I don't think anybody should be supporting Wizards of the Coast in that sense. Um, Proxy. Nobody's gonna be pissed. It's it's cardboard that like one of the biggest card companies wants you to pay hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to get access to. Like that's unrealistic for a lot of people. So if you want something, proxy it. If you don't want to, pay the money for it. But like I've done opening sealed product for Magic almost entirely. Occasionally I'll pick up a pack at my like local game store. Um, if I'm out with my partner and stuff like that. But if I want something, I'm just gonna buy it. Like I'll probably buy a commander deck. If I want a card, I'll buy it. Like that's what I've been doing most of the time is buying uh singles. So that's what I encourage other people to do. But that's all I got, you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video.